What's good, party people? This is According to Woods, and she is the ever elegant, always brilliant, fierce females, BigFemVader, Japanese legend, Ayesha Raymond.
Hi. How is everybody? I'm just trying to
Oh
adjust
my
my head.
god, you sound so brilliant. It's so fun. It's so fun. And don't put those on. Fuck it.
I had to.
Oh, okay. I thought we were gonna kick that shit Acapulco or acapella.
No, I can
Acapulco,
still
like,
hear you.
okay, I can hear you. But I guess this is a special edition of According to Woods. This is a return from a 2-week hiatus, right, of this channel. And I thought it would be fun because we were supposed to do a Wild Wild Country Netflix documentary review, but
And
I
then you
got
got
the
sick.
COVID. I got the COVID. We were supposed to do a John Mayer album review. Brilliant album. We might do a little bit here, but yeah. So I see in your little name card thingy, you want to start off with a question, mademoiselle. So let's go. You have
How
to
was the
answer.
Rona? I would like to know, Mr. Woods or Woods.
Woods.
How was the Rona?
Fucking hell. If I had $1 for every time I saw aliens, thought I was gonna die, violently shitted myself, violently vomited myself, violently coughed, violently passed out, burnt out, made my peace with the gods, with the devils, making it clean for my family to not see anything ghastly so they won't be traumatized more than they ever already were, I'd be doing better than AMC is today.
So you're telling me you were literally this close to packing it all in?
12 fucking times this close to death. 7 times in the last week. For sure. For
So
sure.
when is it? So what is the duration period supposed to be? Because everybody is like 3 weeks, 2 weeks.
You know what? I've been told, because here's the thing. I live in LA County, right? So when I first got my positive test, I took the test in downtown LA at Union Station, which is a train station, which coincidentally enough was where they had the casting call for Selena, where Jennifer Lopez was cast, but also John Mayer's first video for his sob rock record is called Last Train Home, and it was filmed right there in Union Station. And I think Lifehouse's You and Me, where he's sitting on the fucking chair, and a litany of other fucking movies and TV shows have been filmed there. But that's where I, with my 22-year-old son, went to go test. His was negative, mine was positive, right? So the Friday the 20th was my first bout of going to Glendale Memorial Hospital, about 5 minutes away from me. Okay? So my wife, my lovely wife, drops me off, and I'm there about 45 minutes. But they give me extra strength Tylenol there. They prescribed me an antibiotic, little pills, and then an inhaler, which was a godsend because I couldn't breathe. Literally couldn't breathe. Okay?
Not instantaneous, but but the symptoms, how long did it take to kick in?
Fucking hell. Then I know this because it was SummerSlam weekend, because the Saturday I went to the hospital Friday. Saturday was SummerSlam, which shout out to my theoretical sister, Rainy Cruz, friend of the show, friend of the podcast, but she won the TikTok challenge that the WWE imposed, and she got to announce the Big E match at SummerSlam pre-show. I know her. It's crazy, right? And I thought I was hallucinating. I was like, I see her there. I've seen her Instagrams. I've seen her TikToks, her posts on social media, but she's there. How is she there when she's on my podcast in the archives? What the? Like, my brain could not compute. It was just like, whatever. And I was like, oh, she's there. Holy shit, she's there. And I posted, and I was like, I'm so proud of her. I love her. She literally started with Santino Brothers in their virtual course last summer, around the time I started my podcast. And almost a year to the day, she's working with the WWE. They sent her 2 SummerSlam commemorative chairs. Hey, I collected 6. I think I've got 6 or 8 WWE commemorative chairs in my fucking collection. So I know a thing or two about the value of it. So just love her. Sunday, NXT. I don't even fucking remember what happened because I'm just like, ugh. Monday, Blur. Following Tuesday, my cousin, who lives in Westminster, which is about an hour away from me, comes all the way from Westminster to where I live, takes me 5 minutes away to Glendale Memorial Hospital, and he is like a fucking knight in shining armor. This is my dad's sister's son, who basically works as one of the main editors to the American version of Bachelor and Bachelorette. Okay? Well, because of his work, he got vaccinated back in May. Fast forward to like 3 weeks before I got it, he got it. Right? Oh shit. Keyboard Warriors. Woods is back. Let's go. These badass motherfuckers are the ones who introduced me, along with Dave Madden of MMA Storytime, that convinced me to use StreamYard. And look at us now. That's what we're using. Total disclosure. Right? So my cousin takes me to the Glendale Memorial, holds my hand the 4 hours that I was there, and I don't know the conversion rates to where you are, but 4 foot, which is like about a small child or a dwarf person, right? 4 foot oxygen canister they put in my nose, full. I spent 4 hours there. Tell me why, when I leave and get back into my cousin's car, it's bone dry, empty. Yeah. So how bad was it? Pretty fucking bad. I'm still speaking in between breaths, learning how to talk again. And I know there's somebody out there that was like, you're faking. I know people were like, you'll be fine. I caught it, this and that and whatever. And that may be true. I got a 13-year-old in the other room who has it, same positive like me, and he's playing fucking video games. He ran up an $80 charge on my fucking card for GameStop. It's fine.
I thought you were going to say Just Eat.
I get statements and shit. I'm not good at math, but I get statements. I kind of know what's going on. Otherwise, my wife informs me. I said, fuck off to a couple people, like a promoter that I used to work for, that we fell out of sorts. He was not accepting of my mea culpa or my olive branch. C'est la vie. Then this guy out in Missouri, who calls himself my mentor, But where was he when I was trudging away here in Southern California for 5 years at MMA and pro wrestling events on my own dime? I'd buy a ticket and then bring my phone out and interview whoever. I've got shit with Jacob Fatu from PCW. I was supposed to have the Sheik or Joseph Samael on here earlier in the fucking deal. Right? Whatever. I respect all those guys. They're fucking great. They're fucking great. Always treated me like a champ. Right? But this guy out in Missouri says he's my mentor. I've never actually physically met him in my life. Then he, as somebody who is a double amputee of the legs and battling stage 3 cancer, put something on his personal Facebook. And yes, I shouldn't have attacked him on his personal Facebook because he's liable to post whatever the fuck he wants, just like I am. You guys have seen my timelines. I'm all over the place, right? So he puts everybody is replaceable. That I got sensitive. Speaking as a person who almost died of COVID many times over, speaking as a guy who, when he posted it, unbeknownst to him, my friend Clayton Davis, who grew up with my sister and I in Inglewood, even though he went to a different school than I went to Inglewood. He either went to Lusinger or Morningside, but he was half black, half Polynesian, half Samoan, I believe. Now, he hasn't lived in Inglewood in 20 some odd years. He lives in one of those bluegrass states, Kentucky or Missouri or Oklahoma or Arkansas, one of them, right? But he caught COVID around the same time I did. I was memorializing him on all my social media pages. He sadly did not make it. So why am I here and Clayton Davis isn't? Why is Don McGuire here when thousands of amputees and car crash victims and cancer survivors or cancer succumb people, they're not here? So I took offense to it. He goes after me on social media. Fuck you. You don't know who you're talking to. Bullying me. A 36-year-old, half black, half Polynesian, husband, father, grandfather, podcaster, interviewer. I don't have any fucking scoops for you people. You wonderful, beautiful people, you. But what I will tell you is you have purpose. And if anybody tells you you're replaceable, tell them to fuck off the plonkers. You have purpose, just like me. I didn't find my purpose until I was in my fucking early 30s. Already had kids, already married, feeling like I failed at every job that I had because I either got let go or fired. Maybe only got fired once. But even still, downsize, let go, whatever your corporatees that you want to say. Company got bought out. Restructuring. Been there, done that. I haven't worked theoretically since March 7th, 2020. I sit on my ass and I watch YouTube videos about how to be successful. I've got more than I ever thought I would have in assets right now. I bought a sauna. I bought 2 pugs. I bought 8 fucking WWE chairs. I bought plastic cell figures. I bought World of MMA figures. I did 570 or 472 podcasts. This is 473. 529 subscribers. 1,200 fucking followers over on the Facebook, where this is also streamed. Started a Twitch channel. Cultivated relationships with Ayesha Raymond, who I saw with Zeta Zhang, who also is a friend, on the first WWE Mae Young Classic. I can't tell you whose numbers that I have in my phone. I've got friends that wrestle or fight for or work the front office or the back office for every promotion under the sun. One championship, Bellator, UFC. Oh shit. This is one of those motherfuckers. Manolo El Huracan Hernandez. Zeta is fire. Yes. And Manolo is the trainer of champions. He's the broadfather. He fucking coached Liz Carmouche in the first women's fight. Liz Carmouche versus Ronda Rousey for the UFC Bantamweight Championship. Pearl Gonzalez, he is there. There's fucking Elimele McFarlane, former Bellator champion, is there. Attempted killer Juliana Miller is there. He's got so many people. And then, not only is he got MMA legends himself, when that shit was called NHB, No Holds Barred, but he fucking last weekend forcefully took the Pancrase wrestling title in San Diego. That is a man you should aspire to. He's of Filipino descent, just like my wife. Just like Harvey Castanalo, who's one of the most talented fucking matchmakers we got here. Just like my son Owen, by virtue of my wife. So, you want to ask me how COVID was? Fucking sucks. But he's laughing. He's laughing. That's cool. That's cool. But if you want to ask me how COVID works, it sucked. But I felt the prayers. I felt the spite. I felt the hate. I felt the love. I felt the care. I felt the consideration. I felt the constipation because of the fucking pills. Felt it all. Felt it fucking all, man. But I'm battling back for you guys. Uh-oh. What up, BigFemVader, says Manolo.
Hi.
Hey, Manolo. She's taken by a lovely Scotsman. But that lovely Scotsman is a bare knuckle fighter. And I know you have connects. Places. So I challenge you to bring this big burly Scotsman over stateside or work something out over in the UK, because I know you can. I've seen what you've done and who you've matchmade for and your talents. Let's get something going. And then I might even talk to the War Master to bring BigFemVader into Bloodsport. We're doing some shit, is what I'm saying. Okay? So, I just love all of you guys. It sucked. Back to the original question. I work for a management company. I might have a card, which I was supposed to get you on your podcast, but my stupid ass fucking got COVID. But I'm going to hit you up. Okay? So, we're going to work some shit out, man. This is us connecting people. I love all of you. I love you, BigFemVader. I love Manolo. I love JR. I love Fierce Females. I might be a money mark for him soon. Right? Might commentate some shit, which it would be my honor to do so. I might be working some stuff in other countries. Eric Von Frankenstein Whitaker. Love you, my brother. I love you. You and Amber and your wonderful family. I love you. Come holla. Got you, bro. Got you. So we're working some shit out, literally as we speak, right? So life is good. Life is beautiful. I don't care if you're a Republican, and if you've heard me over the last couple of weeks, specifically the last week, right? My wife broke down some shit to me that I didn't even fucking fathom, because the space between my ear, it just rattles like a fucking jelly bean. Okay, there's nothing there. But my wife goes, okay, what do conservative Republicans, what color do they identify as? Right? Red. Liberal Democrats, blue. Put them some bitches together, you get purple. So tell me, what the fuck was Prince talking about in the 80s while we were dancing our asses off going, you say you want a leader, but you can't seem to make up your mind. Let me guide you to the purple rain. Love. Love. Unity. That's it. I don't care if you're from you're Kurd. I don't care if you're Iraqi or Afghani, North Korean, South Korean. I love you. British, Antarctican, Scandinavian, wherever the fuck Robin is from. Because Dancing on My Own and Do You Know What It Takes? Those are fucking jams. You are beautiful, Erin Vincent, and I love you. I can't wait to see you. You are a far better podcaster than I am. Okay? So, that's what I'm here. But, I'm not here alone. That was one question that went literally on a 21-minute tangent. But we have...
Wow.
Fierce Female Zone, Japan's own, WWE Mae Young Classic's own, London Town's own, transferred to Scotland's own, BigFemVader. And I want you guys to ask her 6-foot frame, Jamaican frame, coming from the islands with a whole lot of fucking coconut bombs for your ass. Hey, you got some questions? Actually, I got one for you. And forgive me if I've asked it before, but how did you get into pro wrestling?
I got into pro wrestling because I was the middle child who was surrounded by brothers and a grandfather that loved contact sports. And for years, I was the punch bag. I was the person that was being suplexed. I was the person that was being net breakered. I knew what the moves were before I knew what the wrestlers were. And I just remember watching it all the time with my brothers and my grandfather when I was growing up, which is why the classic meant so much to me. It meant my grandfather got to see me on that stage. And I can just remember one moment burnt into my mind, or two moments, that's a lie, is China making her debut and basically destroying Terry Runnels. She almost going blue in the face, having been ragdolled around. And Chris Jericho's infamous and famous debut, which to this day is how you debut into a company. That is how you build up a superstar. And that is how somebody should have the beginning of their career start. To me, that's what it was, seeing those moments.
I think that's absolutely lovely, right? And I remember some of those seminal moments. Macho Man versus Bret Hart, I think was either August or October. Saturday Night's Main Event, 1987.
I was actually watching this.
that was what brought me in to anything combat sports, anything contested in a ring, and then later a cage, right? That's how I bought into Tommy Hearns and Julio Cesar Chavez Sr. and Mike Tyson, right? Okay. And then later, when Dan Severn walked into the WWF and Ragdoll's Owen Hart, I asked my dad, what the fuck is this? He didn't know. And I begged him to go to Hollywood Video, about 3 blocks away from the Forum in Inglewood, about 4 blocks away from Inglewood High on Manchester. And I go, Dad, can I get this fucking video? Because I heard Jim Ross go, UFC, in regards to Dan Severn. And he was carrying a multitude of belts, flanked by Jim Cornette. And I knew enough about the biz that Vince doesn't just let anybody on with belts that aren't his. Okay? It had been some years since Flair walked over with the big gold. Right? This would have prompted the NWA invasion with Jeff Jarrett as the North American champion. One of the belts that Severn had was the NWA 10 pounds of gold. Okay? So, I see Severn, Ragdoll Owen, and I beg my dad to go to fucking Hollywood Video. right? And he looks at the fucking cover. He goes, too violent. And I said, too violent? Okay. So I marched my little fucking plumpy ass into the action section with Charles Bronson Death Wish 4 with a fucking big ass gun like this on the cover and go, hey, Dad, which one? Said, fucking get your UFC. And when I see Severn do the fucking same thing, so think of what we knew at the time. Early to late 90s. This had to be late 90s for me to be in middle school. Right? Bodybuilders, tough guys. Barroom brawlers, tough guys. Weightlifters, tough guys. Strong men, strong women, tough guys, tough gals. Okay? Karate people. The one touch, deadly touch, and you die. That's what we knew. That's all we knew. Okay? We thought fucking Vince McMahon was a fucking announcer when he was running the whole shit. Yeah. 1000%. Right? So, that fucking tape changed my life. Then I got into Severn. Then Pride came with Vanderlei, the axe murderer Silva, with Takayama and Don Fry, beating the shit out of each other, just fucking hammering each other, where both men were never the same. Anderson Silva came over. Alistair Overeem was a skinny fucking kid with his brother Valentin before he became Ubereem. Dan Henderson winning shit. Right? And all the while, guys like Manolo, El Huracán Hernandez, they're fucking going to Tijuana for $200 and beer, beating the shit out of anybody. Chad George was there. Ian Harris was there. Ben Jones was there. Ben Jones was the training partner of Josh Barnett. If you see Ben Jones and you see Barnett, there's a two bulls in a fucking china shop. And you got the great Eric Paulson presiding over both of them as they're fucking mollywopping each other. CTE City. They're catch wrestling. They're judoing. They're fucking Filipino collie stick fighting. They're doing all of it in a fucking commercial building in Fullerton, California. And somehow, some way, I found my way here. Never accepted by anywhere else, but I'm accepted by you guys. So, BigFemVader, that is a wonderful story that kind of closely mirrors mine, which, that's why we're friends.
He's trying to find new connections.
Yes. Hey, can we talk about some wrestling?
What's happening in wrestling?
I hope I don't get you canceled.
Let's try.
Okay. So, agree or disagree? But let's throw some promotions out there. Impact, Ring of Honor, GCW, AEW, New Japan, Fierce Females, WWE. Okay? These are all promotions to some extent that are running. These are all promotions that have top tier marquee talent. Vince said on one of the conference calls, and I listened to it live because, yes, I'm a WWE shareholder. Okay? And he was like, hey, we might let go of so much talent. I'm paraphrasing, obviously. So much talent. Or somebody asked him, You're letting go of so much talent that you could start a whole promotion. And he laughs or something to that effect. And then the next day, he lets go of Wyndham Rotunda, Husky Harris, Axel Mulligan, Bray Wyatt, The Fiend. Okay? The fuck? But look, Tanel Dashwood, who was Emma in the WWE, she has been amazing everywhere she's gone. I can't wait to see where the former Iconics end up, because they were genuinely entertaining. Separately, and especially together. Adam Cole, look where he ended up. The American Dragon. I never called him Daniel Bryan. Never. Because I saw that first Ring of Honor fucking DVD with him and Christopher Daniels, Think Frankie Kazarian, Samoan SWAT, the Spanish Announcement Team, SAT, the Maximo Brothers, Amazing Red, Xavier. You guys forget Xavier. He was there too. I think I still have it in my fucking DVD library that I got from Warehouse Music back in the day. Yes. So he will always be the American Dragon, Bryan Danielson, to me. And he returned. Now, was I mildly disappointed that he didn't come out to the final countdown? It was almost similar to when AJ Styles debuted at the Rumble. I actually liked his TNA Impact theme song, Get Ready to Fly, with that fucking heavy drum beat. Actually, if you want to talk about Impact TNA theme songs, Dixie Carter was married to, or is still married to, Serge Salinas, who's a country, record producer. The greatest gift the Carters, Dixie Carter and Serge Salinas, had ever given to us as wrestling fans was the Beer Money theme. The Beer Money thing I fucking have on my workout playlist. And if you've never seen Robert Roode and James Storm ever before, close your eyes and listen to it. He's from the country. He's from the city. Okay? So one is it, right? And when the sun goes down, watch the back roads and the blacktop collide. Okay. City, country. Blacktop, city, urban. Country, back roads. Take your money. One is about money. Take your alcohol. The other one, who's swinging a fucking beer on his way to the ring, alcohol. Greatest fucking theme ever for Impact Wrestling. Now I'm partial to the fucking Bulldogs Rule Britannica, right? Hart, right? I really, really, really love Owen Hart's fucking theme. The that shit is fucking amazing. Amazing. So, yeah. Everything is hitting right now. And everybody's like, oh, they're signing too many WWE people. Their roster is overinflated. Well, they said that about Zack Ryder, Matt Cardona, and then he went over to Impact. And he might still be with Impact, but then he fucking did shit with GCW, and he was their world champion. And he's doing great. I love Z True Long Island Story. I wanted one of those flip fucking cameras so I could be like him and create content.
He was so far ahead of his time. It was crazy.
So
He
far.
was doing all the stuff in lockdown that everybody was clambering to learn. He was
Yeah.
doing it then.
He did that because he, I almost related to, like, I know it's a bad analogy, but Colby Covington of the UFC. He's the one hard in the paint Trump supporter. If you are, cool. If you aren't, cool. I don't care. I didn't vote for him. I didn't vote for the fucker that's there now. So it's cool. It's cool. Whatever you got, cool. All right. But Colby Covington was with this guy, Dan Lambert, who has self-funded, pretty much, American Top Team that has brought you the likes of Amanda Nunes, that has made appearances for Impact Wrestling, that's currently doing some of the best promo work in AEW, flanked by former UFC heavyweight champions Junior Dos Santos and Andre Arlovsky. Scary motherfuckers. But you take Dan Lambert, his faction in Impact Wrestling, you swap out Junior Dos Santos, JDS, Singano, you take him out, you got Bobby Lashley and Colby Covington, who was on thin ice with the UFC. He might have got it released. And I think he might have talked to Kurt Angle backstage, maybe AJ Styles. A lot of those guys, Eric Young, they were all back there. And he's like, he watched some of the reactions and was like, how? He sat under the learning tree and he learned. His next fight was in Brazil. He faces Damian Maia, a fucking assassin when it comes to jiu-jitsu. In Brazil. Damian Maia is Brazilian. He beats fucking Damian Maia, and I think it's Rogan or whoever was holding the stick for him goes, Brazil, you're a bunch of filthy fucking animals. This place stinks. Get me the fuck out of here. They had to fucking cart him off like old school Puerto Rico heat. Sneak him in the ambulance. The police didn't want to touch him. The military didn't want to touch him. It was the UFC that got his ass out alive and back to the States. He probably didn't even shower.
Nice.
Right.
I like leadership.
So you say that MMA is different than pro wrestling? Okay. Good job. Even though there has never been more money in combat sports. I'm talking about boxing, celebrity boxing, bare knuckle, Triller, fighting one of the Paul brothers, Premier Championship boxing, all of that shit. De La Hoya's Golden Boy, like all of that shit, right? You got that. MMA, you got one championship. You got PFL, UFC, Bellator, all backed by billionaires. UFC is by WME Endeavor, William Morris Endeavor, okay? Which I have stock. Which when Conor McGregor was angling for stock, they said, fuck you, you don't get none. And just propped up by UFC's 2020, they went public this year from the ad revenue that they got from ESPN and all the other partners. Sky Sports, all of those other partners. And they went fucking public. Backed by billionaires. I'm a shareholder. Okay?
Twitch knows now.
Bellator, owned by Viacom, that gave you MTV, BET, All of that shit. Nickelodeon. Billionaire. I have stock. Okay? Sense a theme? If you use Clorox, buy some stock. You shop at Costco, buy some stock. Okay? Going back, right, to wrestling. AEW, GCW, Impact, New Japan, All Japan, Joshi's, Shine, Shimmer, all of it. WWE, AEW. There is more money than there ever has been before in combat sports. Almost 30% of it is going to the athletes, the wrestlers, the fighters. Trickle up economics. Okay? So, I've actually challenged quite a few fighters on this, especially the ones in the UFC. You get your $50,000 bonus Saturday. Monday, stock market opens. You put 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, the whole fucking thing on Endeavor. And wait until that shit is down. Because if you buy it high, you might lose. Now they have to listen to you. I don't think there's too many people talking shit about Bellator. But buy Viacom stock. They gotta listen to you. And some of them, you make dividends. You make money without even fucking doing anything. Then buy some crypto. Hey, you trade crypto on Coinbase. Buy some stock. You trade shit on Robinhood. Buy some stock. Sense a theme. Bring the power back. That's why the Hertz, the zombie stock, Hertz declared bankruptcy. Hackers boosted up the price from $7 to $70. Zombie stock. Then they go, oh shit, we can do something. And this was at a time where everybody was at home, for the most part. Then somebody on Reddit found out about GameStop, how the hedge funds were attacking GameStop. Well, if you're a fucking hacker, if you're a Twitch streamer, if you're an OnlyFans top some odd, you've been to GameStop a time or two in your life. It might have been the gateway to where you are now. Xavier Woods, Kenny Omega, right on. AJ Styles, okay. So they attack it. They want to short the stock. And somebody puts their ass, the hedge funds' ass on blast. And that shit goes to the moon. What's next? Dogecoin. Not even a fraction of a penny. That shit is 25 cents as of when we started this podcast. Okay, let's flip. Oh, yeah. Bitcoin. That too. That shit went over and under and over and under and over and under and over. Fucking seesaw. 45,000 last I checked. Now we got AMC. And it's so mainstream that fucking, what's the guy? Trevor Lee? What's he in fucking NXT? Cameron Grimes. Cameron Grimes is paired up with Ted DiBiase, whose moniker is everybody's got a price, right? That's the credo for the $1 Million Man. And what does Cameron Grimes say? To the moon. The WWE is listening. Hmm? And Trevor Lee, Cameron Grimes, he doesn't need to wrestle anymore. He made a shit ton in Bitcoin. The money he throws out is probably his. Or maybe he's a millionaire. The motherfucker, the Dogecoin millionaire that fucking put his life savings into Doge, he was a millionaire. He's about even now. But it could go back up. It's the principle, folks. It's a principle. And it's the same thing that all the hedge funds have done to us since the beginning of the stock market. It is the same shit that Martha Stewart got sent to prison for. Insider trading. Bernie Madoff and his Ponzi schemes. Some of it too. You see shell companies every day pop up in Belize, in Fiji, in Barbados, in Turks and Caicos, in Jamaica. All of these places that are tax havens. Bermuda, it's a fucking triangle. Amelia Earhart got lost. But there's companies, Fortune 500 companies that have offices there. Okay. Saudi Arabia. Okay. All right, I see you. So Vince went out there after the Khashoggi death. It wasn't a death. It was a torture and dismemberment. Hmm? Okay. Listen to the guy who escaped from North Korea on Joe Rogan. You want to think your apocalypse is here. You want to think your doomsday is here. They are living it every fucking day. They are paying for debts that their grandparents made. They have no relation. The women are trafficked to China and Russia and the US as sex slaves or maids. Beaten, raped, and killed. Worthless. This is what's going on, people. You know? But we have these salvations of combat sports, of movies, of music to get our minds out of our asses. But then our minds become cloaked in shit. Because we don't open our eyes because we were talking about the movie or the sport and say, my team. No, your team. My team. Your team. Your team. Fuck, I'm not talking to you anymore. Okay? And here's the thing. Okay. As forward thinking as AEW wants to be, they have a service called Heels that is supposed to be for the female or identifying as female. LGBTQ, right? $50 a month. No content that you aren't already getting on Dark Elevation, Dynamite. Okay? Look at Chris Jericho, Matt and Nick Jackson, Tony Khan. Who did they put their political funds to? Which candidate during this last election? But you guys are forward thinking. Diversity hires like Sunny Kiss and Nyla Rose. Okay, cool. All right. So, on the other side, we've got a North Carolina born, Stanford kind of raised, millionaire or billionaire, it kind of fucking goes up and down. But he has a wife named Linda. And Linda was the COO, Chief Operating Officer, for the WWE for many years. Okay? Participated in storylines like her husband cheating on her with Trish Stratus while she's in a comatose situation. Who can forget WrestleMania 2000, where all the McMahons picked the charge? Vince, Stephanie, Linda, Shane picked the charge,
Jericho.
and they went for the title. Hmm?
Jericho
Okay.
should win that match.
When Stephanie got pregnant by a wrestler who Vince swore his baby girl would never marry a wrestler, just like Vince's dad, Vince Sr., didn't want Vince in wrestling or hanging around with Dr. Jerry Graham. Hmm? Marries a wrestler, gets pregnant, and what does Vince want to do? Incest storyline. Had he impregnated his own daughter.
It's that Jerry Springer shit.
That's it. You know? The one that just had a heart attack that's supposed to be the patron saint for indie talent that come into the WWE system. Well, Nick Khan is endeavoring so many of his people that he had a heart attack. And I hope he gets better. But he's also the one who cheated on China with Steph. He's also the one that masqueraded as Kane with Katie Vick.
Oh, no. That's been... I just got that out of my head. Like 10 years later, dude. Really? I literally... It was gone, and now it's back.
He was telling little kids, suck it. Same thing with Shawn Michaels. Born Again. Ask anybody that was there during that era. He wore biker boots with the Iron Man match with Brett and fucking kicked Brett in the face, splitting his lip. You can see it plain as day. He wins the title, tells Earl Hebner, tell him to get out of my fucking ring. Montreal Screwjob. I don't have to say anything. I wasn't there, but it's been overdone. Wrestling with Shadows. Dark Side of the Ring. Brett's book. Martha Hart's book, Broken Hearts. You want a chilling detail of what happened to Owen that day? It's there. Okay? But again, all of this is window dressing. It has to be us. Billionaires, homeless people. Straight people, gay people. LGBTQ, I hate this thing, but people call me cis. Cis? I don't know. Got a weird accent thingy. Okay? So, you guys are all beautiful. You guys are all powerful. Make yourself irreplaceable. For the people that think you are replaceable and just a number, just another cog in the fucking wheel, make yourself undeniable. Because that is the only way. That's it. Otherwise, you're going to be a lemming. Just like that program of the early 90s.
No.
Dressed the same cloak, like Heaven's Gate. You remember them? Drinking the fucking Kool-Aid? Jonestown Massacre. Another Kool-Aid. And you just march off the hill. Don't march off the hill. And again, if you're having suicidal thoughts, I put a post up a couple days ago. I thought I was a wretch, discarded, waste. Nobody loved me. So I saw on 2020 about these kids who drank Drano to lose weight. Now, they did it to lose weight, but ended up nearly dying. Their life conditions were never the same. But as a 245-pound kid, lose weight, attention, sign me up. So I march into my fucking dad's bathroom, take a capful, start heaving it. Ugh, ugh. Do it again. That one sticks. Nobody knows. And I was like, diet pills, enzyme pills. Take a couple of those. Oh, my shits were so bad. Like Bam Bam Bigelow's head tattoos out my butt.
Oh.
Yeah, it's bad. But I survived. And that was even my first brush with it. First time my parents argue. They would get in some knockdown dragouts. And it's not what you think. You would think my American-born dad of 6'4", giant. My mom, 5'4", Fijian woman. You would think that she'd be the victim, he'd be the aggressor. My dad was a big-ass kid. If you asked his, relatives, he would have this leather jacket that he stole. And he would go to the fucking store and steal candy. And Hostess and cupcakes and shit. And we'd stuff it into this leather jacket. And when everybody was asleep, you'd hear the wrappers and the munching. That's my dad. Every fucking video game console that we had as kids was my dad telling my mom, "Oh, I'm getting it for the kids." He'd be there because he only worked Friday, Saturday, and Sunday as a street performer in San Francisco's Fisherman's Wharf in front of the Cannery in San Francisco, California. And Friday, Saturday, and Sunday or when the, when the fucking tourists were there. So Monday through Thursday, he was home. Yeah, he would take us to school. Yeah, we'd go to the Guitar Center. But he'd go to EB Games or KB Toy Store to buy video games. And he'd come home and play. Now, my mom, Fijian, strong-willed woman, her last name, Wanganisanini, is literally translated to angry boat. Angry boat, right? So she comes in, sees him in the fucking couch, her sweating, carrying my sister, and holding my hand. We walked like a mile and a half from school. She see my dad sitting there, and she would fucking knock my dad out. He sprawled out like fucking Randy Orton. It's probably one of the reasons why I fucking don't like Randy Orton, since he fucking broke his collarbone. I love that shit. I love when he was doing the ozone shit. Don't like new Randy Orton. The Riddle presentation I can get, otherwise I don't get. Even though I like the fucking RKO out of nowhere gifts, right? So, because of that situation and what I saw, I wrote a suicide note in the first grade, leaving all of my toys, leaving all of my toys to my sister, telling them all I love them. I would come home from school, and their fights would be so bad that I always imagined, because I heard about the Menendez brothers and them killing their parents. Well, I imagined there would be a murder-suicide, and I'd walk to find my mom, my dad, and my sister's bodies lying bloody. So when I would get home from the bus, I'd hesitate to turn the key. And that's why it got so bad that I wrote that note. But then my sister was there. I couldn't leave her alone, right? I learned how to read so I can take her into one of the closets, lock the door from the inside, and read Berenstain Bears or Corduroy. That's why my speech is the way it is. Despite only being a high school graduate of Inglewood High, no less, and I barely passed. Barely passed. My only incentive was, man, that soul, Lance Valanche, who was my fucking high school counselor. Lance Valanche, his grandparents met at Inglewood High, got married. His parents met at Inglewood High, got married. Him and his wife met at Inglewood High, got married. 4 generations. 4 generations. And his name suggests he was an Anglo person. Well, white flight had already happened, and he was left to be a counselor at his alma mater. He always believed I was smart. So I was failing pretty bad. I was doing just enough so my ROTC teacher wouldn't fucking scold me or give me more laps with the fucking rifle or sit-ups or push-ups, right? Just enough. So Lance Valach sits me down in his office and he's like, Adam, I know my junior and senior year of Inglewood High, I was living at a hotel, motel, where people were found of heroin overdoses, cocaine overdoses. Hookers would bring their Johns back. Even though my mom worked at City Hall in Inglewood, but we fell out of sorts with my dad, who had a house, had his new girlfriend, and they were great. Like, the way that it fell out, it was my mom getting into our heads, and me being a little war machine, wanting to fucking fuck shit up. And if I were my dad, I would have kicked me out too. But we never went back. Not until I was like 20. I was 16, so 4 years, right? But the last 2 years of high school, we were living at a hotel because my mom had done too many school loans and everything like that. So despite the fact that she worked in the highest building in Inglewood, City Hall, in the mayor's office, worked on 2 of his campaigns, trying to get her citizenship, which she couldn't. Even the mayor wrote her a letter. There's no path to an easy path to American citizenship, folks. Hell, the last first lady that we had, her husband had to become president to get her and her parents fucking legalized. So there's that. Okay? So he knows I'm living at a motel, and one of my other friends who's in ROTC with me. That's it. Because he would come and swim at the fucking pool. We were the only ones because it was gangsters and coke heads and meth heads and everything. All right? And he sits me down and goes, hey, if you graduate, I'll pay for your prom and your cap and gown. Well, I was already, honest to goodness, because we were living at a hotel and we had just a post office. I miss both of my yearbook pictures. The first one and the makeup one. Right? If you look in the Inglewood High School yearbook of 03, you'll find a little, like maybe like the fucking tip of a pin picture of me as the class picture of ROTC. That's it. Okay? But he goes, you fucking graduate, I pay for the shit. I mean, now it seems like a nominal amount of $200. $100 for cap and gown, $100 for prom. But it was everything to me. Living at a car or a hotel and alternating back and forth. So I did it. I got my diploma. I can't tell you where it is. Hey, it was last I knew, it was in my uncle and aunt's trailer. They used to get high in the toilet, which is kind of significant, but kind of not. My
Did
dad
it at
was in the
least come
U.S.
up in a frame?
I don't know. My uncle's passed away, and my aunt lives, and she got remarried. Might be re-divorced. I don't know. It's sketchy. It's weird. It's weird, right? But yeah, that's why I fight. That's why I do the shit that I do. I try to be as good to people because I want to be good to people because I genuinely mean it. But also, I got a wife and kid. No, 4 kids and a
I
grandchild,
was gonna say, have more than that.
right? That I got to send out into this fucking weird ass world. And I want to know that they're okay because I was close to death. If anything happened to me, which was very likely, they would still have to continue in this world. That's why I'm Woods. So, I mean, the 3 older kids, they have a different dad, but they're still my kids. Not just during tax time, because they're all fucking voting, drinking, and smoking age 27, 24, 22. So it's nothing about that. Those are my kids. But the only one that bears my name is the 13, turning 14 on the 28th of this month, who I named after my hero of Owen Hart. Owen James, to be honest with you. And he tested positive for COVID. Like I said, he ran up an $80 fucking bill on GameStop on my card. I didn't know he had my fucking card.
They always have your cards.
It's cool. I bought a lot of dumb shit. I might have bought one of your shirts from Pro Wrestling Tees. Ruby Riot shirt from AEW Shop. Primetime Live, Dave Marquez, the 1 year anniversary. The reunion of PP Ray Rosas, and Pretty Peter Avalon. Right? And I think they're going up against Reno Scum that night from Impact Wrestling, who are, to me, the new version of both the Hart Foundation and the Road Warriors in punk form, which I love. Speak to me. One of them, his name is Adam.
True.
I'm Woods, he's Adam. That's cool. Then the following night, GCW, I got my friend of the podcast, friend of Barnett, Josh Barnett, friend of Eddie Torres of Rock and Roll Beer Guy, the Dirty Daddy, Chris Dickinson. He's going to be on the card. But the main event is arguably one of the greatest wrestlers, pure wrestlers, catch wrestlers to ever grace the squared circle along the lines of Barnett, along the lines of Minoru Suzuki, Kazushi Sakuraba, Carl Gotch, Frank Gotch, George Hackenschmidt, and Billy Robinson. I'm talking about the Ring of Honor pure champion, Jonathan Grisham, husband of Jordan Grace, who's equally as talented. And he's going up against somebody who I just mentioned, Minoru Suzuki, for GCW. Now, hopefully I'm not contagious. I'm going to be there bearing no consequences, but I'm going to look like fucking Bubble Boy. Or the man with the invisible fucking face.
Hazmat suits, gloves.
I might even get the shot. I don't know. Everything is up in the air.
You're gonna get the microchip? No joking.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? After fights, and I'm not even talking about COVID, but after fights that I went to on the 14th, and nothing against the promotion, love the promotion, love the entire fucking team there, love going to Commerce Casino in Commerce, California. I could have went to New Japan the same night at LA Coliseum. where Tanahashi fucking won the New Japan US title. Should have went. But I heard some of my friends went and they caught it. Might have not been from there, but definitely from somewhere. And like I said, I got my friend Clayton Davis. Rest in peace. He died. So I thought I was retired from live shows. But shit keeps bringing me back. But if this is indication, I'm back to doing this podcast. I'm on my phone. I can't get to my fucking usual podcast studio and all the fucking bells and whistles. Hopefully I sound just as well. I know I don't look as well because my fucking COVID hair is like, whoa.
Oh yeah, you have hair now.
Yeah, man. But at least my cosmetics bag didn't fucking blow up in my bathroom. There's that. Yeah.
Well, it's taught me to live life in a more simpler, basic form.
Yeah, but you know what? One would argue we both look better without it.
Yes.
Okay? So, any parting words?
I would just like to say that as everybody else probably feels, we are happy to see your happy, shiny, don't smile. We're happy to see your happy, shiny face, and we are just glad that you're okay. Like, me for one. I don't generally have many friends, and I'm glad that, this one's alive.
Vince is the devil, but he also believes this is good shit. Who am
Is that what you said?
This is such good.
Yeah, good.
which theoretically went to Wyndham Rotunda before he got featured in Never.
So sad.
Fight the power.
We're trying.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And what I meant with the Linda McMahon, right? They lived in Connecticut for years. She spent $12 million on 2 failed Senate bids in Connecticut.
It was 2, wasn't it?
Yes. Left her COO position with the WWE, publicly traded company, worldwide recognized brand, and then donates $8 million to former President Trump. Yes, he is a former president. Former President Trump's election campaign. She ends up the small business chairperson of the United States of America. I shit you not. Look at who supported Donald Trump in the Republican National Convention. None other than the UFC's Dana White. Okay? So, a lot of your favorite fighters might not believe the same deity. A lot of your favorite wrestlers may not agree with you politically. Cheer them still. As humans, like, we were never supposed to be the fucking alpha. Right? You put a dolphin or shark on land, we're fucked. We like to shoot each other if we go to each other's houses unceremoniously and uninvited. But we also like to go camping, and that's the fox, the fish, the bear's house, coyote's house, and expect to not get our faces ripped off. That's why when it happens, when somebody has a pet chimpanzee, they rip their face off, and their nose is a fucking straw, that's what's supposed to happen, folks. Diseases kill us. Red Death, plague. Edgar Allan Poe wrote about it how long ago? Mask of the Red Death. Mumps, measles, polio, AIDS, cancer. All of this shit. That's why I have 2 pugs. If shit gets wild and shit goes south, they're just plump enough to eat. but not bad enough to fuck somebody up.
And cute enough to keep their heads on a keychain.
PETA
No,
loves
let's say
this.
that. That's not what I said.
Hey,
That is not in a way.
I gotta mate them. I gotta get in a bigger house though, because my wife says they're already humpity on each other, so she tries to keep them back and keep them at bay. But when they do procreate, I'm coming over to Scotland to you and your lovely fucking fiance, and I'm dropping one off. So you can join in the splendor and anxiety that my wife suffers every day for the last 2 weeks because she had to deal with these motherfuckers.
It's fine. It's okay.
And she fucking stores their shit. Maybe out of spite, might be out of plight, might be out of convenience, but in the fucking $100, $150 sauna that I bought on Facebook Marketplace, when everybody was talking about Xbox One and PS5, I bought a fucking sauna, and that is now a storage.
Yeah, because the PS5 is going to be like 200 quid in like next year. Like, just wait. Everybody, just chill. Just jam.
My fucking 22-year-old has them. The Switch, the PS5, the Xbox One. That is not an invitation to come to my house and try to pry them away from his apparently non-COVID fingers. But I'm just saying, it's a tell. Uh-oh. Irv A said, I know who that is. Proposition Irv says, I bought an Xbox Series S. I don't even know what the fuck that is. Because here's my Xbox.
Cool, but it looks like a computer. Xbox.
I don't know what the fuck it is.
It's only the new Xbox. The tower looks like a computer. That's it.
Okay, that's cool. I probably broke mine because I was trying to fucking on it, and I dropped the console. But that only exists when one time of the year WWE comes out with a game. One time of the year UFC comes out, well, once every 3 years UFC comes out with a game. And then when I see one of the NBA or NFL, like the Madden or the NBA 2K series, I like those. But I get them 3 years behind. So it's only $2. Like the price of a fucking cheeseburger. So if it's 2021, I got 2017.
Which is one of the good ones, to be fair.
No, I mean, honestly, why am I going to pay $60 and another $40 of add-ons when I can buy it 3 years later? 3 years later, right? No temptation of add-ons, no upgrades, no updates. I just play. No online. The fuck I'm gonna be a grown-ass adult, get into it because I'm getting away and escaping life, right? Because nobody fucking goes with a bottle or syringe looking for hope. They're already fucking gone, folks. Okay? So the fuck if I'm gonna pay a premium price per month when I'm already paying for WWE or Peacock Network, UFC Fight Pass, New Japan World, ESPN Plus, Hulu, Netflix, Paramount Plus for Bellator and Combate Americas, maybe $30 worth of fucking Fight TV a month, Pro Wrestling Illustrated, which I still get downloaded on my fucking Kindle, internet of $80, $25 StreamYard. Yes. So why am I going to pay $15 for a fucking kid somewhere in Idaho telling me I'm shit? Fuck you. Yeah. Uh-oh. Herb says, I haven't had a system in 15 years. It's a gift to myself. With all the fucking moves that you're making. Hey, some of the shit that I know about stocks and crypto are from Irv A. 100%. We have talks about the sticky, icky stuff, which I don't consume because I got weak lungs. But I have this.
Now.
Oh, wait, that's feminine wipes. Oops.
It's
My
like,
bad.
what? Why have you got those?
These,
What's that? Ah.
okay? Because they're legal here. And that's it. Because my fucking weak ass lungs, I can't do smoke at all. No cigarette smoke, no weed smoke, no meth smoke,
Good. Good.
none of it. Yeah, man. That's who I be. So, hey, BigFemVader, for people
Yes.
who want to get in contact with you, not in that way. Don't invade the DMs because she's got a fucking bare knuckle boxer champion in the fucking making that'll split your fucking head in. But if they want to buy
Oh,
some merch,
yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
if they want to buy some merch, they want to see the fucking podcast that you're doing, they want to see everything about you that you want them to see. Where can they find you on the socials?
Well, on the socials, you can literally type in, I always get this wrong. That Big Fem Vader into every social media outlet you can possibly think of, and you get this wonderful Warner Brothers, Hollywood, WE, Japan,
Ooh.
AEW, internationally accredited movie star face. Or you can type in at Fierce Females and at Fierce Females Glasgow. You know, if you want.
Oh my god. Oh my god. One question. One last question. This is the one that fucking dying to ask you because the circles you run, and you don't have to name names. But have you ever had a bad celebrity interaction?
That's never interaction. I'm trying to think of one that is okay to tell. You know that whole "Don't Meet Your Heroes." Uh, I'm not going to name the name because it still traumatizes me to this day.
Okay.
But again, I will say the statement again: you don't meet your heroes because sometimes it will disappoint you. I was with a group of my friends during a WE tour week, and we were doing backstage interview stuff. Not interview stuff. We were doing backstage stuff. We were in the catering area, and I had come across
Rosebud.
with my friends. Yeah, when I was Rosebud, and it was just a natural gathering backstage, during when Rosebud days, and I had met one of my heroes who was also standing there with one of my friends, and we were having a conversation. And if anybody has been around any of the females backstage at WE events, we are told to dress at a very a high standard. So dresses, boobs mostly are on show, not completely, but they are pushed up to an acceptable level. And this wrestler, this person, my hero, my confidant, mentor, spent a good 3 minutes staring directly within her cleavage before he realized that her rape was about a foot upwards. I don't name names because I like them still.
I don't. I mean, that's definitely worthy of me too.
It's worthy of me too, but it's one of those moments where you're like, oh, they're old.
Yeah, it's definitely me too, but it might not be all that bad. You want
Yeah,
to know
that's
mine?
the thing. Why?
You want to know one of mine? I have a few, but like more like I'm gonna give you some good ones. Shane Carwin, former UFC interim champion that fought Brock Lesnar in that crazy ass fight. Amazing, amazing human being. Smart as shit. A fucking engineer by trade. Um, he he owns a bunch of Max Muscle nutrition shops in his native Colorado. So they opened one in Bakersfield, California, in the same little complex where I worked. Right. The signing was supposed to be from 12 to 2. He shows up at 10, doesn't leave till 4. 6 hour signing. Made sure everybody had a fucking autograph. When kids walked up to him and shook his hand, and he looked like a fucking mountain with a head. So I can only imagine what fucking Lesnar looks like up close and personal, right? When a kid went up to them, he got down on his knees and were like, "Oh, you're hurting me." Okay? When he saw somebody with veteran insignia, "Thank you for your service." Okay? He came 2 hours before, 2 hours after, when I gave him my my picture to autograph. I told him that my sister, 24 hours before, was in a bad fucking car crash. And she had broken her collarbone, and I don't know what else, because she didn't have a cell phone at the time. This is mid 2000s. He pulls another fucking supplement powder, says, "Give this to her. It'll help her heal." And then he fills out, "What's your sister's name?" Signs it. "What's your name?" Signs it. Doesn't charge me anything. That was $100 worth of shit. Free. I'm choking up.
That's a good experience.
Now, the week before, Randy Orton in Bakersfield filling gas. Asked him for an autograph. He told me to fuck off. That's when I went hard in the paint, MMA. And it was easy too, because this is also around the time of Benoit. So it was easy. But my worst celebrity interaction, I'm going to say his fucking name. Jaleel White. Urkel from Family Matters. And let me set the table. Ghirardelli Square. Like the Ghirardelli chocolates that you get at Christmas time. Okay, that is in San Francisco. My dad played keyboard. His saxophone player, Yil, Turkish gentleman, saxophone player, living in Thailand currently. Right? So they're playing. And we see this fucking big ass. This has to be what? First season? So 91, 92, maybe 93 of Family Matters. Crowd. People with their, this is a tourist spot. People have their fucking disposable cameras. Or their fucking cameras with the little fucking light cubes. Whatever. And I'm following him to his shop. He was on a date with some girl. Right? It could have been the fucking little daughter from Step by Step. But I can't be too sure. Right? So, finally, he's at this claw machine game. A claw machine that I fucking mastered. Like, I took so much fucking shit from that damn claw machine, it's not even funny. So I give him a tip. He gets the thing for the girl. She's happy. He's like, "Thanks, little man." I'm like 7 or 8. I said, "Hey, is there any chance I could get on the show?" Not a fucking chance. And he walks. Fast forward. My cousin, the one that lives an hour away from me, that's an editor for the US version of The Bachelor and The Bachelorette. At the time, he was working with Dancing with the Stars. And he was working in a particular department. And he had some interactions with Jaleel White. This is 25 years removed. At the rap party, no one approached him. Everyone had something bad to say. I believe Jericho was on that season too. Jericho was there. In addition to that, one of my cousins, my dad's cousin's son, had come from South Bend, Indiana, where he's from, and he was a dancer. Okay? Well, he was also, my cousin Byron got him a job with Dancing with the Stars in the same department that he was in. So he was at the rap party. He was at the rap party, and something in him, he decides to dance. He dances his fucking ass off. After he gets off the dance floor or the table or whatever the fuck he was dancing, this lady hands him a card. It's Saturday. Call me Monday. He calls her. Well, it's my cousin RJ Walker. RJ Walker has been in Samsung commercials. He's been in a Foot Locker commercial with none other than John Cena. And currently is one of the leads in the BET adaptation of the Eddie Murphy movie Boomerang, but the series. Okay? Pendulum swings. Pendulum swings. That's why Jaleel White is still making direct to fucking TV movies. He's working, but not in the heights of his former glory. He's had unsungs and unheralded and fucking shit, whatever. And nobody gives a flying fuck. It's because of the quality of person. Now, I will tell you, I've met Phil Collins. I've met Clarence Clemens. The rest of the guys in Genesis. Miles Davis at the same Ghirardelli Square. At the Genesis fucking concert, which was my first 2 days on the job with the event security. Right? What happens, and this happens at the Hollywood Bowl. Dudes at Ringside Podcast. What's up, bros? Good brothers. You should have fucking Ayesha Raymond on the fucking podcast. I'm just saying. But yeah, so the first day, they fucking put me at the beer garden, beer tent. And they're like, hey, if you see somebody that looks underage, hide them. That was my only fucking instructions. But this is the last 2 nights of Genesis's farewell tour, the reunion tour, right? This is a crowd of 40 and up. I have fun. I card everyone. Stepford wives, Botox, silicone, empty, gay, straight, whatever. Knowing full well, whatever. 5 here, 10 here, 20 there, 15 here, blah, 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 whatever. Uh-oh, very booked. Oh, well, guess what? She's in fucking Scotland, so I'm sorry, guys. Anywho. I leave that night with probably about $300, which is cool because I didn't have a damn dime to my name. And my son Owen was born 2 weeks before. Didn't have diapers. And I wasn't getting paid for another fucking 2 weeks. Scary, man. At the end of my shift, my supervisor calls me to him. Dad? He's like, what the fuck did you do? Oh, damn. Like, was I bad? He's like, I've worked for the company 30 years, including myself. I've never had anybody have as many compliments as you have. So you're not working the beer tent. I was like, I could have made another fucking $300. He's like, no. Show up at 4 o'clock. Now, call time for everyone else was 7. So 3 hours before. So I get to the Hollywood Bowl 3 hours before, and you got to walk up because it's up a hill. You start walking up and up and up and up and up, then down and down, and then up and up and up. And he's like, here's your post. I look to my left. Genesis is sound checking. They're right here. Sun sets over what should be the crowd in a couple of hours over Hollywood Bowl. And they start playing No Son of Mine. I start crying because to give a little bit of backstory, well, my dad and I had always been at odds, right? He was the scholar musician, 6'4", scrappy, don't want to do schoolwork, can read, smart as shit, but never applied myself. Always at constant odds. My ode to our relationship was No Son of Mine. So that's what they played. I'm on the side of the stage. I am bawling. And I wipe my fucking tears with my yellow fucking jacket. And they go, I don't realize that the fucking music had stopped. Phil Collins. And then I look behind him, everybody. Mike Rutherford, Tony Banks, Chester Thompson, Daryl Stromer, the entire fucking band are looking at me, concerned, genuinely concerned. And Phil turns the mic off and goes, are you okay? And I was like, He's like, no, are you okay? I said, you don't understand. And I tell him the story of my dad and I. And he goes, I cannot believe that people are still touched by that song that I made all those years ago about my experiences with my dad. He gives me a hug. Deep, whatever. Guys walk up stage, they all give me a hug, they figure it out. Roadies, they were checking on me. And then midway through the concert, I get relieved. But I'm still in the orchestra pit. And I could see the band looking for me, kind of wave to Phil, and they're like, oh, he's right there. Right? And it was raining to the extent where Tony Banks, the keyboard player, fucking slipped. And that was the end of the concert. But as I was seating people, Nathan East, great bass player, who my dad had so many instructional videos and DVDs of over the year, who's played with Eric Clapton, Elton John, Paul McCartney, okay? And this guy, who was so amazingly brilliant and charming, good looking and debonair and suave. And he had some like colored glasses. Not rose-colored glasses, but glasses. And it was night. And he goes, you've been so good to me since I've been here. All the other motherfuckers are assholes. You want a Sprite? I go, yeah. You know who this person is? Well, he hadn't got to the acclaimed role most of people of our generation knows. But that role was Iron Man. And that dude, Robert Downey Jr. And he gave me a $20 tip on top of it.
Only 20?
So if Robert Downey Jr. can do that, but Urkel can be an ass, and Randy Orton can be an ass, pendulum swings, folks. Pendulum swings. So yeah, I think I've burned enough of you guys this time, right? So again, she's BigFemVader. Find her. She's got a link tree that's linked in the description. Buy some merch. You'll be get for it. She'll probably put some more merch. I got some design ideas. We might even have some co-merch. I don't know. We'll fucking think of something. I'm according to Woods. I talk a lot of shit. Some of it, some of it I recant. But I'm always going to give you shit 100%, folks. And I'm according to Woods. I got a link tree, and it's down there. And I got an Instagram where people get fucked up pretty often. I say a lot of shit. But if you consider, shoot me a follow. Get the subscription on this fucking YouTube. And follow it on Twitch. And then follow it on Facebook. I'll follow you back. They're dudes at Ringside Podcast now. And I guess we're going to take it out with our good friend, your Mae Young Classic compatriot, Zeta Zhang, to encourage you.
Hey, this is Zeta Zhang. Make sure you subscribe.